Okay.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Rise and Thrive. I'm your host, Denzel Robinson. If you are ever looking for any mindset, coaching, or anything in terms of personal development and mental performance, you can follow me on Instagram at dzfit_performance. I have an incredible guest here today, Mr. Bob Karosy.
What's up, guys? Happy to be here. Denzel and I have known each other for about 4 or 5 years now. We actually used to work together. So today I'll be here to talk to you guys about my life, a little bit about fitness, supplements, and I guess anything else Denzel has to ask me.
Cool. Well, yeah, man, thanks for taking the time to come over. I appreciate it.
Of course.
So, first things first, obviously we've known each other for some years now at this point, about 5 years. And when we were first working behind the desk at the Edge Fitness Clubs, we're kind of hanging out. Like, we didn't necessarily have a really big focus in life at that point.
Just having a good time.
Exactly. We were just hanging out. We were making people shakes with a smile on our face, right? And that's really
Pretty
what it
much.
was. That's what it came down to. So, Bob's really done a lot in these past 5 years to really grow and just pursue a new direction in his life. And, dude, you always seem to be like a businessman in that regard, very business focused. Yeah. But I just love the fact that you also are like, you know what, I'm just gonna become an animal in the gym and just work at it.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about, your process and just kind of what's happened ever since you were working at the Edge.
Yeah, I think it's honestly been my whole life. Like, my dad is just he was very hard on me my whole life. He always instilled just, to work hard. Nothing was ever, I guess, good enough for him. So it always made me work harder and harder to impress him, which, to look back on it, it might have sucked then. But now I look back and I'm like, man, that really helped me because I wouldn't be who I am today. So, since we met each other, I had just started college at that time. And I always had, the dream of finishing college, getting my, bachelor's degree in accounting. And then I went to go on and get my master's in business. Cool. So I think just the hard work it took me to do that, mixed in with, finding my way at the Edge and continuing my growth there, it really helped me out. And then, I think the Edge really helped both of us out in the sense that we met so many different people.
Yeah, that's so true.
I wouldn't be where I am unless I met Sarth, because Sarth really, I guess, saw something in me, and he pushed me into bodybuilding. Awesome. And now that I think about it, I think the first time I ever watched Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger and those guys, I was maybe I was 13 or 14 years old, and I was always so fascinated with it, but I never thought I would do it. I never wanted to do it. And then I think it just took Sarth saying every single day, hey, when are we doing this? When are we doing this? To finally make me pursue it. And I'm happy I did, because I think it's made me grow in a bunch of different ways. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. And what are some of the ways that you feel like you've really developed? Obviously, that's an insane mental grind. And I know a lot of people watching this, they might not necessarily be doing the same thing you are. So I guess give a little bit of a story about what is the mentality that you really need to have to be able to do something like this? I think for someone who wants to.
I think once you understand that it's okay to never be content with where you are, is where it starts. Because you might have an awesome life, you might get the job you want, you might look the way you want, but if I guess you aren't always trying to be better, then what is your purpose? What's motivating you to be better? So I think I look at bodybuilding as, I wake up every day, I eat the same thing every single day for the most part. I train pretty much every day. Obviously you need rest days, but it's just that never being satisfied thing. You always want to wake up and you always want to be better than you were yesterday. And you might have bad days, but it's not letting those bad days kill your day tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think it's really just work life, gym life, it all ties in together. Because if I wasn't as disciplined as I am in the gym, I don't think I would have the success I have in my career. Because I think it all ties in together. I wake up every day, I go to the gym, I go to work. That's my day. It's structured. So once you find that structure, and once you find the things in your life that you care about, stick to it and just do it over and over again. It's just it's not simple. It's not simple, but it's just get into that routine. And, once you start doing it, day after day, week after week, it's just a lifestyle. It's not like, oh, this part of my life, like I did this part of my life, I did that. That's just like, it's a lifestyle at that point. And it might stink at the beginning because people don't understand it. But once people see that you're serious about something and you actually love it and care about it, they start to buy into it too. And then, yeah, from there, it's only up from there. Once people start buying into it and seeing that you love it.
Absolutely. That's so awesome. And I'm happy you shared that.
Yeah.
So everybody watching, just remember, whatever it is, you're going to have bad days that are going to be tough. But just like Bob said, like, keep the consistency, keep it going. Do not stop just because you had a tough day. Like, they're going to come. And sometimes there might be 2 bad days, 3 bad days in a row. It might last a little longer than you thought it would be.
Yeah.
But if you can just sit patiently in that pain and push through the pain, you will come out on the other side. And there's always stories for that. And just being able to really trust yourself. So
yeah. And I'm happy you said the word patient, because I think bodybuilding is being patient. Like, you look at some of the top guys, they're in their 30s, late 30s, even 40s.
Wow.
And that progress doesn't happen overnight. Like, I've been seriously lifting now for maybe 5 or 6 years, bodybuilding for about 2-ish. And I'm still not even anywhere close to my potential. So, and I understand that, and people have to understand that. And I think that's where I think people lose themselves. It's like they want that instant gratification instead of like, okay, this is going to take me years. Like, I don't look the way I do because I just started going to the gym last year. And like, I mean, granted, some people have those genetics, but most people don't.
Yeah.
So I think patience is the key. And just like we said earlier, just consistency, doing it over and over again.
That's awesome. And on this journey, what do you feel like the relationship to yourself has been? Like, how has the relationship from before you started bodybuilding, like, how did you look at yourself? What was that like to finish going through a whole entire competition? Yeah. And then just on the other side of the competition, like, how mentally was that transformation for you?
Well, it can be tough in a lot of different ways. I think life, to put it simple, life is a big mental game. I think once you can get past the mental game, I think then you could start to, see progress in certain ways. So before my shows, I would kind of do what everyone else does in the gym. You bulk, you cut, you bulk and cut. It's a never-ending cycle. And I guess before I started competing, I never fully understood, what I guess it took to do what I do now. So once I started competing, I really understood, like, hey, we need to go through this phase of building and growing and letting that muscle sit and mature. Then we cut it down. And sure, it might be discouraging when you're sitting and waiting because, you get fluffy, you're not shredded, your abs may not be showing the way you want them to. But then week after week during prep, every single week you see something new. And then closer to the show, every single day you see something new. And then every single day turns into every few hours you see something different in your physique. Like, I remember, for example, like the week of my show, I was sending Sarth pictures like every few hours just so that he could manipulate my food if we needed to.
Yeah.
So
jeez.
that's, crazy just to think about that.
Dialed in.
So
That's awesome.
the hard part is after the show, because you are so limited in everything leading up to that, to where that next day, I think I weighed 10 pounds more than I did on the day of my show. Like, I was 200 pounds the day of my show. I think the next day I was 210 pounds.
What?
Purely based off of, purely based off of water and salt, if I'm being honest, and probably just my muscles holding some carbs. The hard part is not putting yourself down for not being 4% body fat, because like you physically cannot be that shredded for an extended period of time. Like you will start having like organ failure. So I think once you do that show, it's okay to not work out for like 2, even 3 weeks. Let the body recover. You have to accept that that look is very temporary. And it took me a little bit to understand that. I was down on myself for a little bit, but then I think once I started working with my coach and getting back into the swing of things and understanding like, hey, I need to take time to grow now. And it's okay for me to not be shredded all the time. And I think since then, my relationship with the gym, eating and training has become so much better, because now it's like we were talking about earlier, I eat all day long. And like from a kid that used to be fat, like I love eating. Although it's like the same thing all the time. Like I'm eating right now.
Yeah.
Like I always get to eat. I'm always full. Like I always feel good in the gym because I have energy and whatnot. So yeah, it's really just like I said earlier, getting into that lifestyle and staying consistent with it, and then you'll see that consistent growth.
Yeah. And what were some of the hardest parts about it? Like, what were like specific moments you vividly remember of like, wow, this is brutal.
Yeah.
This is tough.
So during prep, I wasn't just prepping. I was working full time at the Edge. I was getting a master's degree too.
There's that.
So every day, to just like give you a glimpse of what my day looked like, I was waking up at, I don't know, it was like 3:30 or 4 a.m., getting to the gym to do 30 minutes of Stairmaster, 30 minutes of treadmill, an ab routine, and then working from 7 to 2 or 3 o'clock. After work, Sarth and I trained for about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then after training, we would do some more cardio. And then I maybe had an hour to go home, eat, and then go to class. And that was Monday through Friday. So I think the hardest part got to me when your food gets low. And I think the one time I remember I was walking on the treadmill, and I was right in front of me was a wall. I was in like the corner of the Edge, right? And I'm maybe a month away. And those feelings of hunger and doubt and all that stuff come, I want to say 6 to 7 weeks out. Because you're almost there, but like you're not. And I was staring at the wall and I just started crying. Like in the middle of the gym, I started crying. And I told myself, I was like, I can't do it anymore. Because I was just like physically and mentally just like, I was so worn out from school, from training, and just being hungry. And then I cried for like a minute or two. And then I got over myself and I was like, stop. Like, you're going to be fine. You just got to get through it. And I think once you can get past the mental part, or if you can take away that mental part of prep or even life and just focus on the task at hand, like that's half the battle. Because like bodybuilding is a mental game. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you're judging yourself like every single day. And when I was at the gym with you that one day, and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to keep my hoodie on until X date.
Yeah.
I really, and that was like in the moment I said that, and I was really looking at it like, I don't need to look at myself in the mirror every day to know I'm making progress. You're going to look different day to day, and you need to accept that. So if I can go to the gym and I have sweats on and a hoodie on, I don't know what I look like. To me, it's just another workout. That's taking away the mental part. So you just go to the gym, you work out, you leave. The more you can take away that, oh man, I look like shit, or judging yourself continuously, the happier you'll be if you can just focus on training and eating. The looks will come.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, crying in the middle of the gym on the treadmill was my low point of prep.
Yeah. Dude, thank you for sharing that, because I'm sure there's people out there that can definitely relate to just having a really tough and down moment.
Yeah.
Right? And understanding that, like, there's going to be emotions. And that's actually the beautiful part of life, is you're going to have moments where you're going to be like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I really don't see how there's any way that I can get through this next step. But having that faith and just allowing your emotions, by the way, which is very key to what Bob just said. Bob allowed his emotions to come through. He didn't just like, nope, shove it down constantly. He actually was like, no, I feel this way. Okay, let the emotions come out, reset, recoup, and keep going.
Yeah. And it's also, it's helpful to have someone that you can share that with too. Like, I think the reason why it worked so well is because I was with Sarth every single day. We worked together. He's one of my best friends. Like, I don't care if I cried in front of him, because I know he wasn't going to be like annoying about it. I knew he'd get it because he went through it too. So you just have to surround yourself with people that have similar goals, and you have to realize that at some point there's certain people that are meant to be in your life, and there's certain people that aren't. And it might suck to come to that realization. And most of the time, there are very few people that you should have in your circle. It's great to have a lot of friends, but at the end of the day, like, what is a friend? Like, if they're not helping you, or if you're not like-minded in certain things, like, sure, we're acquaintances. Like, I see you every day, but you're not my friend.
Yeah.
Like, I just know you.
Exactly.
So it's okay to have like 2 or 3 friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's really okay.
Yeah. I want to definitely expand on that too for a second, because, you know, having different types of friends, like, there's the people that you keep, and actually this is something I heard somewhere, I'm forgetting where I heard it from, but you have your friends that are, you know, for 4 minutes, where like you're just kind of shooting it, right, talking to them. You have your friends for like 4 hours, right? Where, okay, a couple hours, great, like, I'm hanging out with them.
Right.
Then you have your, 4 days, like, you're spending some time with them, and you know, you can handle them. And then you have like your lifelong people that you could just like literally be with for years, and like, cool, like, you guys get along and grow together.
Yeah, right. You don't need to talk to that person every single day.
Exactly.
Like, I can call Sarth right now. Like, sure, we text here and there, but I could call him right now, and it's like we talked yesterday. Like, you need those people in your life. You need people that do the same thing as you, and you even need people that don't do the same thing as you to take you away from it. Like,
100%. Yeah.
Like my girlfriend, for example, she's into the gym. She's not into bodybuilding. But it's that little bit of a difference that can take me away from it. Yes, I need to be strict with my training and my diet, but it isn't the end of the world if I don't eat a meal at this specific time, unless it's prep, of course. Like, then it gets tight. But she has taught me that it's okay to take a step away from it for a little bit. It's not yes, it's a part of my everyday life, but there's things outside of that, and I think that has helped me appreciate it more, being able to take a step away from it and, all right, let's go to dinner. It's okay to have a cheat meal. I'm not gonna get fat from one piece of pizza. You know, like,
Yeah.
that's why my coach builds in 2 or 3 cheat meals a week. Like, yes, keep it professional, like keep it, keep it tight, but it's okay to take a step away.
Yeah.
Like, it's not always that serious. And I think that's people's problem too. They're so focused on something and they take things so seriously that at the end of the day, it just drives them up a wall. Yeah.
Right, dude. That's
I know.
a big realization I had very recently where I was like, wow.
No, and I'm the same
I'm
way.
actually losing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. And like, I think that just stems from caring. Like, you care so much about something, like you let it just take over.
Yeah.
And it takes like someone else to realize it and be like, hey, like, are you good? Like, what's your problem? For you to actually realize it and be like, and own up to it and be like, yeah, you're right. Like, I am obsessing over this, or I'm, maybe I am caring a little too much about it. But I think it's good to be that way versus not giving a shit.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely
the checks and balances and being able to stay consistent there. So yeah, man, I appreciate you sharing that. And who do you think, I know you were talking about your dad a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And you were just saying how he was a really big influence and really, helped push you.
Yeah.
What was his kind of philosophy on just working hard and work ethic and stuff like that?
Well, I think as I got older, I started understanding him more, which helped me because my whole life I was like, man, why is he being so hard on me? Like, can't he just be proud of me? But looking back on it, like, his father, who I didn't have the chance to meet, he was in the Army. He was an engineer. So engineers everything has to be perfect. And put that on top, he was in the Army. Like, you are probably one of the most strict people there is, right? And that was his father. His father wasn't really there often. He traveled a lot for work. So I think my dad was just doing his best. And his way of showing me that he loved me was being hard on me. And I didn't always understand that, but now I understand it. Because, like, if he didn't push me to do the things that he did, I wouldn't be where I am in, like, my career. So props to Dad.
Let's go, man.
He was a bit of an asshole.
Okay.
But, you need someone in your life that pushes you. And then I think I'm glad that I finally came to that realization of why.
Yeah.
And that's just his parenting style. Every parent has a different style, but he did his best. And sure, there are other people along the way that kind of helped. Maybe I'm looking for a word. Maybe shape that hard work and discipline, but it definitely came from him. So yeah, it definitely started with him, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah.
It's awesome, man. I think back about, like, just my dad too, and just really, I feel like our dads are definitely very different. Like, my dad was traveling a lot, so he wasn't really around when I was younger.
Yeah.
So, like, growing up around with a bunch of women, it was like, okay, like, great, like, let's, we'll get you in sports and we'll do that. I think really the really way that I learned about competitiveness and about, like, being your best, it was always sports, because I took it so serious. So, like, the second I was in sports, that's where I really found all the power to really let that energy release, because I had so much energy too. And so as I just got older and older, kept playing sports, was around that other group of just that masculinity as well. With the sports, I needed that because I didn't have that at home. So it was basically like, okay, this is where I'm getting it. Coaches, all the coaches I had growing up, that was another thing that really helped me out a lot, to have that, father figure there. And, like, my dad was great. Like, he tried his best. He'd be there when he could be, he'd give me the lessons when he could. But obviously it was a huge help to have sports in my life, because if I didn't, dude, I don't know where I'd be.
And it also helps you be a leader. Like, sport, I think the best thing that you can do as a parent is get your kids into sports. Like 100%. one, you make lifelong friends from it. You learn just like valuable lessons. Like you learn to work hard. Yep. Like you learn to work as a team. And when you really look at a lot of different careers, everything is team based. Like in business, like my job isn't, sure, I have my individual duties, but I still need to communicate with so many other people. So it's like, it helps in so many ways that you don't even like think it would. So yeah, sports are awesome. Like baseball, basketball, any sport really, any team sport, you know?
That's so awesome. And so right now, like, I mean, what's kind of going on now? I know we wanted to talk a little bit about just your supplement company and like everything with that. And I'm so excited for you, because when you start to go that route and really build something of your own like that, it's really empowering feeling.
Yeah. So I want to say in May, I think the end of May, I had just finished busy season for work, which is starting in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I was in a weird spot with trying to get like sponsored by a supplement company, and like I have an affiliation like sponsored by Foundation Fairfield. Dennis there has, you know, done his best to try and get me in with certain companies and whatnot. And at the time I was on a walk with my buddy Chris, and we were kind of just like, why don't we just make our own? And I was like, sure, but how the hell are we going to do that? Like, we're not chemists. Like, how much, who's going to make it?
Yeah.
Right? So I voiced it to my girlfriend, and like a few minutes later, she sent me a link of this company. So I was reading through it, and to put it super simple, you essentially just send them your idea. Our idea was a pre-workout to start. And then I formulated our pre-workout formula based off of just different ingredients that I liked from different pre-workouts that I've taken, right? So I've been taking pre-workout probably since I was like 16 years old. Like, I think every guy has that vivid memory of them taking their like first scoop of C4. C4 fruit punch, the worst tasting pre-workout on the market.
That's funny.
Not to like call them out, but it's awful. And sure, I don't have a background in science, but I do have a background in taking I wouldn't call it a background, but I have so much experience with supplements. I understand how they work in synergy with each other. I know what I like, and I know what other people like, for the most part. Like, you get a good understanding by just talking to people. What do they like? What do they not like? So I made that formula, sent it off to them, and they give you a quote back, and then you just go from there.
Yeah.
Flavoring. So awesome. It's kind of all been in the process since May, really. So it's been some time, and we should have the first order of that within the next, I hope by the end of like this coming week, because I mean, I love the formula. I
love it.
I don't even care about selling it. If I was just rolling in cash, I would have bought all of those tubs for myself. I would be giving people free things just because I love it so much.
Yeah.
The people that I've given samples have loved it. And I think the one thing that I love about it is that it's for many different people. Like, I've given it to Sarth, who you know is a very large human being.
Yes, very large.
Luke Pritchard.
Oh, yeah.
Also, very large human being.
Yeah.
Right? So, very top of their class, like guys that bodybuild, taking a full scoop and loving it, but then also giving it to girls at a half a dose and having them love it. And what I think I see with a lot of supplement companies is they just try and push a product. And now that I understand what things cost, I can really look at certain formulas and certain ways they formulate things, and I'm like, this costs them nothing, and they're selling it for such a large profit. And it's honestly disturbing. So I think what I want to do with my supplement company is give you the value, but while also giving you a good price. A full amount of servings, right?
Yes.
So I think the number one thing that bothers me about pre-workouts now is this whole 40-20 serving nonsense. You can take one scoop for 40 servings. You can take 2 scoops for 20 servings, right? That's how they market it, right?
Okay, yeah.
When you really get into looking at the supplement facts, that one scoop that's going to give you 40 servings isn't giving you anything. Unless you're like a beginner, maybe, sure.
Wow.
But, and then you take someone like me who needs a full 2 scoops. Well, now I'm paying $55+ for 20 servings, right?
Yeah.
I always thought that if you're going to make a supplement, you make it 30 servings. For the most part, there's 30 days in a month.
Yep.
Right? Now, granted, you don't probably train 30 days in a month, but our product is 30 servings.
Nice.
And it's going to give you the focus, the pump, the energy, the hydration. It's going to give you everything you need to have the best workout you can have. And at the price point, I think it's probably one of the most comprehensive formulas there is. There's no artificial dyes in it. And personally, like when I mix something and it's bright red or like waste green and I drink it, it sits in my stomach and it's rumbling and bumbling, and I haven't experienced it with ours. When you mix it, it just looks like water. It looks like if you put creatine in water, it's just cloudy. So I'm really excited for it to come in.
It's exciting stuff.
I just really need people to try it.
Cool.
And I'm not just looking to make pre-workouts. Like, I have a list of things that I want to do. And I think I just want to be different.
That's right, man.
I want to provide people a good price and the best formula possible for that price. So I'm not pushing crap, because at the end of the day, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Why would I make something that I don't like? So yeah, I'm really excited, man. It's been a long time coming. It's kind of like been nerve-wracking because I've been waiting for, I think, like 8 or 9 weeks at this point for like it to ship.
Yeah.
And I've been using these other pre-workouts that I'm like, I take it every day and I'm like, damn, this just isn't
not it.
Yeah, it's just not
you already had the good one.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
No, it's like, damn, I just want it. So yeah, hopefully, man. Supplement company is called DSP Supplements. You can follow us on Instagram at DSP Sups.
There we go.
Yeah.
And
so
give them your Instagram too.
Instagram is Schmerda, like Bobby Schmerda, Schmerda_8. I post there every so often on my story about like fitness and whatnot. But once the supplements come in, I'm going to, like I was telling you earlier, I'm going to start, we'll probably have a supplement channel like on YouTube.
Cool.
And I'll be posting videos on the Instagram page, my Instagram, that YouTube. I'll be posting things about my journey through prep that's starting on Saturday. So I'm doing 2 shows, May 31st and June 14th. So I'll be talking about prep work, because in about a week or two, my workload goes up like 60, 70 hours a week. So, workouts, supplements. Again, like I said, I'm not a chemist. I don't have a background in science, but if there's one thing I do know, it's supplements. If you have questions about supplements, you can ask me. Like, most of the time, I will know where to steer you. I will know what to tell you. So, yeah, DSP subs.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And any last thoughts?
I think
you want to share with everybody?
I think at the start of me trying to do this whole thing with Chris, obviously there's a lot of doubt. And it was funny too, because like 2 weeks after we started that whole process and talking with that company, another supplement company reached out to me who I had wanted to be sponsored by for like a year or two.
Wow.
And he texts me, because we were friendly.
Yeah.
And he texts me, he goes, you know what? I'll sponsor you. So now I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn. I just got sponsored by the company that I wanted to be sponsored by. But I'm trying to make my own. So I was in such a big just dilemma of what to do. And a lot of people were pushing me towards, dude, just take the sponsorship, learn about it. The supplement company can wait. And I think the best decision I made was to not go through with that sponsorship.
Exactly. Okay.
And do what my gut told me. And it was making this pre-workout, although I haven't sold a dime of it yet.
Yeah, it's waiting.
It's waiting, and I think that once people try it, they're going to love it. And I'm fully confident in the brand. I'm fully confident in the supplements that I'm going to be, creating.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to come out with more products. But at the end of the day, it comes down to cash flow.
Sure.
Hopefully within the next year, I'm looking to come out with at least 1 to 2 more products along with the pre-workout.
Sweet.
That will work in synergy with that pre-workout, or just something else. I'm not going to say what they are.
Cool. Yeah.
But they're going to be, workout based. And so, yeah, I think go with your gut. If you love something and you are confident about something, just do it.
100%.
Yeah.
I back that 100,000%.
Yeah.
So, Bob, thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Of course, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, everybody, awesome episode today. If you're looking for more stuff, obviously you can follow us and make sure to like and subscribe. So, I will see you all in the next episode. Enjoy the rest of your time.
Have a good one, guys.
You know the drill.